is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. I will speak ill of no man, he said, and speak all the good I know of everybody. Actions speak louder than words, and a smile says, I like you. You make me happy. I am glad to see you. It isn't what you have or who you are or where you are or what you are doing that makes you happy or unhappy. It is what you think about it. Don't be afraid of enemies who attack you. Be afraid of the friends who flatter you. No matter what happens, always be yourself. Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. When we hate our enemies, we are giving them power over us, power over our sleep, our appetites, our blood pressure, our health, and our happiness. Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. People rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing. Remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Talk to someone about themselves, and they'll listen for hours. If you are not in the process of becoming the person you want to be, you are automatically engaged in becoming the person you don't want to be. Be wiser than other people if you can, but do not tell them so. Actions speak louder than words, and a smile says, I like you. You make me happy. I am glad to see you. Even God doesn't propose to judge a man till his last days. Why should you and I? Knowledge isn't power until it is applied. It isn't what you have, or who you are, or where you are, or what you are doing that makes you happy or unhappy. It is what you think about. Why not use the same common sense when fishing for people? When dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. We are dealing with creatures of emotion. Creatures bristling with prejudices and motivated by pride and vanity. No matter what happens, always be yourself. 2 men looked out from prison bars. One saw the mud, the other saw stars. Be more concerned with your character than with your reputation, for your character is what you are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. If you can't sleep, then get up and do something instead of lying there and worrying. It's the worry that gets you, not the loss of sleep. You can't win an argument. You can't, because if you lose it, you lose it, and if you win it, you lose it. One reason why birds and horses are not unhappy is because they are not trying to impress other birds and horses. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Names are the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Remember, happiness doesn't depend upon who you are or what you have. It depends solely upon what you think. Let's not allow ourselves to be upset by small things we should despise and forget. Remember, life is too short to be little. I have come to the conclusion that there is only one way under high heaven to get the best of an argument, and that is to avoid it. Avoid it as you would avoid rattlesnakes and earthquakes. All men have fears, but the brave put down their fears and go forward, sometimes to death, but always to victory. Today is our most precious possession. It is our only sure possession. If you want to gather honey, Don't kick over the beehive. Always have something to say. The man who has something to say, and who is known never to speak unless he has, is sure to be listened to. Why talk about what we want? That is childish. Absurd. Of course, you are interested in what you want. You are eternally interested in it. But no one else is. The rest of us are just like you. We are interested in what we want. Our fatigue is often caused not by work, but by worry, frustration, and resentment. Instead of condemning people, let's try to understand them. Let's try to figure out why they do what they do. That's a lot more profitable and intriguing than criticism, and it breeds sympathy, tolerance, and kindness. To know all is to forgive all. You can measure the size of a person by what makes him or her angry. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's precious pride, hurt his sense of importance, and arouse resentment. If some people are so hungry for a feeling of importance that they actually go insane to get it, imagine what miracle you and I can achieve by giving people honest appreciation this side of insanity. By fighting you never get enough, but by yielding you get more than you expected. Don't be afraid to give your best to what seemingly are small jobs. Every time you conquer one, it makes you that much stronger. If you do the little jobs well, the big ones will tend to take care of themselves. Only knowledge that is used sticks in your mind. You'll never achieve real success unless you like what you're doing. Arouse in the other person an eager want. He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. If you argue and rankle and contradict, you may achieve a victory sometimes, but it will be an empty victory because you will never get your opponent's goodwill. We are all dreaming of some magical rose garden over the horizon instead of enjoying the roses blooming outside our windows today. The expression one wears on one's face is far more important than the clothes one wears on one's back. Control your temper. Remember, you can measure the size of a person by what makes him or her angry. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Flattery is telling the other person precisely what he thinks about himself. There is only one way under high heaven to get the best of an argument, and that is to avoid it. The man who goes farthest is generally the one who is willing to do and dare. The sure thing boat never gets far from shore. The world is full of people who are grabbing and self-seeking. So the rare individual who unselfishly tries to serve others has an enormous advantage. Flaming enthusiasm, backed by horse sense and persistence, is the quality that most frequently makes for success. If you believe in what you are doing, then let nothing hold you up in your work. Much of the best work in the world has been done against seeming impossibilities. When the fierce, burning winds blow over our lives, and we cannot prevent them, let us, too, accept the inevitable, and then get busy and pick up the pieces. We are interested in others when they are interested in us. The successful man will profit from his mistakes and try again in a different way. If you tell me how you get your feeling of importance, I'll tell you what you are. Feeling sorry for yourself and your present condition is not only a waste of energy but the worst habit you could possibly have. People who can put themselves in the place of other people, who can understand the workings of their minds, need never worry about what the future has in store for them. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him to find it within himself. Action seems to follow feeling, but really action and feeling go together. And by regulating the action, which is under the more direct control of the will, we can indirectly regulate the feeling, which is not. We have all read the Golden Rule and the Sermon on the Mount. Our trouble is not ignorance, but inaction. You are going to survive, and good things are going to start to happen again. And one day you are going to look back, and this will not even be such a bad thing. First ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Then prepare to accept it. Then proceed to improve on the worst. You can make more friends in 2 months by being interested in other people than in 2 years of trying to get people interested in you. The only way I can get you to do anything is by giving you what you want. If you want to conquer fear, don't sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Nobody is so miserable as he who longs to be somebody and something other than the person he is in body and mind. I shall pass this way but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. When 2 partners always agree, one of them is not necessary. If there is some point you haven't thought about, be thankful if it is brought to your attention. When dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but creatures of emotion. The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. The person who seeks all their applause from outside has their happiness in another's keeping. That is what every successful person loves: the game, the chance for self-expression, the chance to prove his or her worth, to excel, to win. A person's toothache means more to that person than a famine in China which kills 1 million people. A boil on one's neck interests one more than 40 earthquakes in Africa. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise, and people will cherish your words and treasure them and repeat them over a lifetime, repeat them years after you have forgotten them. The secret of his success: I will speak ill of no man, he said, and speak all the good I know of everybody. Today is life, the only life you are sure of. Make the most of today. If you want enemies, excel your friends, but if you want friends, let your friends excel you. Life is bigger than processes and overflows and dwarfs them. By becoming interested in the cause, we are less likely to dislike the effect. You can dramatize your ideas in business or in any other aspect of your life. It's easy. People who smile, he said, tend to manage, teach and sell more effectively, and to raise happier children. The only reason, for example, that you are not a rattlesnake is that your mother and father weren't rattlesnakes. You deserve very little credit for being what you are. Do the hard jobs first. The easy jobs will take care of themselves. A great man shows his greatness, said Carlyle, by the way he treats little men. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Happiness does not depend on any external conditions. It is governed by our mental attitude.